Hello YouTube. Today's video is something that I don't know how common it is, but it's definitely something that if you're going to make a purchase, that this is one purchase that you always make in person, not online, because it's that important of a thing. It'll render your tool useless, and that's buying a level. Now, I've seen some pretty good videos out there that they explain it things pretty well. I'm just going to go over some of the basics, but maybe add a couple things that I think is kind of necessary, because I actually did buy a level in the last year or so, and I did this in the store to check it, and it's not easy. And I wish I kind of would have recorded that, but I didn't. So, but I'll go over it, kind of what I believe you should do. So, stay tuned.
Welcome to Retire Ready.
So here's my level, and if we're mimicking buying this level at the store, a couple things with it. Very likely there's going to be some sort of plastic wrap on them, or whether it's like heat shrinked on there type of thing, and quite often a lot of them will have cardboard ends to them type of thing. So this makes it a little bit more difficult. So what I'm going to suggest here is that you look at those ends. If I move this over a little bit, if there was plastic and cardboard on this ends, and generally there's a heat shrink is there, and they kind of bunch up. So I would look at the heat shrink on these ends when they're on there, and then look at the other end and see whether they're roughly the same. If they are roughly the same, and you think you can push them down and they'll compress the same amount, then it should be relatively accurate. Step 2 is you find a shelf or something in the store, and you mark one end. It could be at a divider or at the end or something like that, and then you flip actually, before you even do that, this is something to do. So I've got my fingers on either end here, and I'm pushing down on the right hand side, pushing down on the left. You'll see that bubble moves. So I don't have a spot here that I should be checking. It is not, it has a little bit of a crown in the middle, and I'm rocking on that crown. So this is not the spot to check this level either. And even having said that, I guess you could, as long as you did it the same way and from the same position. This is what I mean. So if you look at that bubble, looks pretty darn close to touching that right line there. So if I flip this around, I have a mark on one side here. Now I'm holding it down on the left side again, and that bubble position looks pretty close. See, I'm getting a little bit of glare here. I'm going to maybe shut off a light. Hold on. There we go. No glare. Let me even try to zoom in a little bit more. Oh, look at that. It actually seems to work here. So again, pushing on the right side, it moves off. Pushing on the left side, it moves to that line. Again, with that zoom level, pushing down, that looks good. I'd say it's good enough for the girls I go with. So we've checked this level now it was on a rocking position, but because I pressed both times on the left-hand side, it looks pretty damn good. You know, I more or less, I picked a side and I went the same way. So if that was the only surface you had, that is a way you can check your bubble. Now I won't get into the other bubble, but essentially you're doing the same thing, only on a, let's see if I can find that here. There we go. Here's your other bubble. Just getting it into view here. But the same thing. You would find a vertical place where you can put it down and have it solid. And then you would check it one way. Then you would check it the other way. And if that bubble position is in the same position, you have a good level. And I honestly went through, it was just on a little plumber's level, like a 8-inch level. I sat in that store and I didn't get one that was accurate until maybe the 10th one. Like, it was crazy how terrible they were. I don't know, they were just, well, I know they were just junk levels, you know, the so-called made in China type of levels. But they were, none of them were accurate, you know. So it's unfortunate for these store owners that they go and buy a bunch of stuff and they are not accurate, but they'll sell them because people don't know how to check them. So that's more or less it on checking your levels.